Good morning, AutoTrader family, and welcome to day 2 of the West Bank Car of the Year evaluations, the test days. We're out here at Velmore Hotel, and it's out in, near Pretoria, Centurion area, and the jury is getting ready behind me, and they're going to be evaluating the cars, and today is part of the on-road testing. Yesterday you may have seen a couple of our videos where the jury members and the judges were taking the cars out on the track and onto the skid pan and putting them through various paces. They were doing slaloms, they were doing wet handling, they were doing braking tests, and they were also doing some track-based work to see how the vehicle performs through high-speed corners and the likes. Today the speeds are going to be considerably lower as they're going to be taking it out on the road, and now they're going to be listening for things like road noise, rattles, squeaks, stop-start traffic. How does it handle that? It's one thing driving a car at pace on a racetrack, but it's another thing actually taking the car out and living with it. And that's what they want to see now, is how does the car stack up when you need to live with it. So we're going to take a look at the finalists again. We're going to show you some of that, and during the course of the day we're going to be trying to chat and interview a couple of the jury members, see what they think about the process and how the judging is going so far. So let's just remind you and let's walk you through the finalists quickly once again. Let me zoom around. There we go. All right, so lovely Velmore Hotel, so now you're not getting a reversed image of it, of our test vehicles over there, and our central control station. Very sort of Tuscan out here. Alright, so let's start here, and this is in no particular order. Of course, the Kia Picanto. Kia Picanto coming in as one of the cheapest entry-level vehicles that's made it to the finalists, but it does have a direct competitor this year in the finalists, and that is, of course, is the Suzuki Ignis. So both of these roughly the same price and roughly the same sort of market, and so they're going up against each other head to head. We're going to be talking about the judging process a little bit as well. The Alfa Romeo Giulia, this is a vehicle that I personally really like. Is it worthy of a Car of the Year award? Well, the jury's going to decide that. I can't decide that. Next up, the BMW 5 Series, and the model that they've chosen is the 520D. Because there's such an extensive range of engines and options, they've opted to go with the 520D as their entrant. That looks quite nice. You don't have the I just do love these breathing grills. Grill completely closed, but no chrome detailing on it. This one's just very nice, and yeah, it's got the essentially like the midnight package on it. So the chrome detailing is gone, even around the windows. This one actually looks very nice. I do like that color scheme. That's personal preference. Porsche Panamera, and we have reviewed this one as well. We've reviewed all these vehicles, so we have videos up on our YouTube channel, and if you want to go through the AutoTrader website, you'll be able to find them there as well. The Porsche Panamera, we did review that, walked away suitably impressed. They have selected the Porsche Panamera 4, not the 4S or the Turbo or the Sport. Next up, the Volvo S90, also stately cruiser, and this is another one where they've got a direct competitor. So the S90 will be going up against, no, not the Panamera directly, but more the 5 Series. These two are in the same sort of market. The Panamera slots in a little closer to the 7 Series. Volvo doesn't quite have a competitor for that one. 7 Series and S-Class is more the competition for the Panamera. However, it does dabble in the area of the 5 Series. It sort of bridges the gap there. We have the Toyota CHR, and this one, very funky. We went through it in great detail yesterday and did some road evaluations. You can take a look at our Facebook feed and on our YouTube channel. The video has been uploaded there. The Peugeot 3008. Now, we don't call it the 008, and I'll always reiterate that. The 3008, also very good car, massively underrated, drives extremely well, has quite a nice motor to it. Then of course it is the Audi Q5, and I must say this is the first time that I'm seeing the new Q5 in this color, and I quite like it. It's a little understated and it doesn't look typical Audi, and we're so accustomed to seeing Audis in whites and silvers that this sort of burgundy is a refreshing take. And then our final finalist is the Land Rover Discovery. This is the new Discovery, colloquially known as the Disco 5. We'll take a walk around the back of the vehicles as well. We always show the front of the vehicles. Let's take a look at the back. And it's actually a pity that we start with the Land Rover because, well, the back is probably one of the worst angles of it. Oh dear, what? Oh no, look at that. And they thought that was a good idea. Oh well. Alright, so here we go. There's a Q5. Let's take a walk through them again. One's going through the back. Audi Q5, regulated TDI model. That's not a poor fit and finish, that's just the door is partially open. I do like the tail light treatment on that one. Peugeot 3008. Honda CHR. Volvo S90, they've got it in D5, that is the one that they've specified for this. An all-wheel drive option, which is going to make the handling quite good. As we said, Panamera 4. Do like what they've done with the tail lights at the rear. BMW 520D. I always maintain a bit of conservative styling here from BMW side. Alfa Romeo Giulia, really do like the tail light treatment. Also a little bit conservative, not over the top, but attractively styled. Suzuki Ignis, also probably one of the worst angles to look at the Ignis from. The rear end really does taper down, and as a result you've got these arches and these haunches. You can give it a slightly odd proportions. And the Kia Picanto, the updated tail lights at the back form nice C-bars at the rear, and it does look quite nice. So those are your finalists. I'm going to swing you around again. Okay, so we've got our finalists there behind us. Now it is important to note, we're not comparing a Kia up against a Porsche. They're not going head to head, they are finalists. What the jury is looking for is overall excellence. By how much does the Porsche Panamera improve or rate over its rivals in the market? And so the cars like the Picanto will be going up against the Ignis that's here, but in their market and in their segment. So the 5 Series is up against vehicles like the E-Class Mercedes-Benz. It is up against the Volvo S90. It is up against the Audi A6. How much better is it than those other models in its bracket, in its segment? And each one is evaluated on that criteria. So they're not going head to head, they just happen to all be finalists, and whoever actually ends up showing the most excellence over their rivals, their market, their segment rivals, will be crowned the 2018 Westbank Car of the Year. Okay, so we're going to sign off, and we'll join you a little later on. We're hoping to get a couple of interviews, as I said, with some of the jurors, some of the organisers, and giving you a little more insight into what Westbank Car of the Year is all about. Thank you very much for joining me, and have a great morning.